Picking it out.
The first audition that Rick got me, I went to Network for. It was going to be a spinoff of Married with Children, and it was going to be kind of a take on Friends, and the show was called Enemies, and it was a bunch of kids living together that they couldn't stand each other, like where Friends was like, yeah, we all look, it was the anti-Friends.
Wow.
And
that's a great idea.
Yeah. And it was going to be part of a Married with Children episode that they were going to then spin off to its own show. And I didn't get it, but I went to Network, which is, one of the most terrifying things that, you can do as a human being. I was making like $400 a week working my ass off as a production assistant. And then before you walk in for your Network test, you sign your contract. My contract was for $25,000 a week.
Wow.
And that kind of puts because you go, well, my life will change forever. It will be forever changed.
Yeah.
I was going to make more in 1 week than my dad was making in a year at that time,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a wild experience. And I've had good tests and I've had some bad tests, but it's it's wild because I'm like I've always been kind of a look at me guy, except for when you then decided to look at me, and then I'm like, hey man, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
So there's this weird thing. Like I want attention, but at the same time, when I get it, I'm not comfortable with it. So. Okay. Yeah. I mean, hey, what should I be? An actor, of course. So
yeah.
Weird dichotomy there.
Well, that's an interesting thing of the spinoff with Married with Children. Was there going to be any original Married with Children?
I assume, yeah, because it was going to be a part of a Married with Children episode.
Okay.
Where they introduced all the characters. So I'm assuming we would have probably met through, maybe Bud or the daughter or then carried it over. So I'm sure to get this show up and running, they would have had some of the main characters come over into the show,
So how does that work? Do you basically, your agent says, well, did they have a script developed for Enemies?
Yeah.
And you just did a screen test?
Yeah, I did like 2 scenes from the script.
Okay.
And you walk into the network studio head's office, and there's 20 executives sitting in his office. And they're like, dance, monkey boy.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta dance. And like I said, I've had good ones and I've had not so good ones. But it's rough, man. It's rough. I mean, not like it takes you back to like, give me a reason to drink, man.
Yeah.
Walking out of there. I mean, I walked out, I was shaking.
Well, for people that don't understand really how some of that works, you actually never even made it to film the pilot episode. It never even went that far, right?
Correct.